No,
definitely
not.
You can never ignore it.
There's no one here.
Race is important. I mean, race is part of your identity, but it's not defining every single thing that I do or that I think black students on this campus do.
Yeah.
But like there was recently an article about affirmative action, this study that one of the professors did, and if you read some of the comments, you will see that racism is still a very big issue. People say, Obama's elected, you need to stop talking about race. You need to end affirmative action. It's like, well, what about institutional racism that's been around in this country for hundreds of years? When everything is equal and there's no need for Black History Month because Black history is integrated into American history, then we can talk about a post-racial society.
As Princeton graduates, we're not only going to be occupying very like specialized fields, which typically black people aren't, we also kind of have like a drive to reach the top or whatever, and so I feel like maybe in the workplace there may be an opinion like, what is this black girl trying to do? Like, is she trying to like
Shirley has a job.
Be the boss or something? Like,
I feel like for me, the one concern that I have is that, I go out into the real world, things might be a little different in that people would just, see me and perceive me as an African-American woman and kind of put me in that box and, expect you to be the voice for, like a lot of people. Just kind of being able to have like my full identity represented and voiced is one thing that I often worry about.
It's almost like Princeton is praying for like the culture of the upper class, and this is the way they interacted. But in the end, I'm still this black girl from LA. This is not a society I was born into. I will always be someone who, though I might feel comfortable in it, I will always be someone who was not born into it and who does not fit 100% into it.
When you have these dual identities that you're always battling with throughout your life, I don't know if you can ever like come to terms with how you're, going to fully assimilate in one more than the other. I mean, I think that's why we really, stress diversity of thought, diversity of backgrounds and experiences, because you're really just an individual at the end of the day.
This has really been like a historical moment, and that it's like the responsibility is on us and like all our fellow students to also, keep it up and not to forget, like the people who are behind us.
Who can't move forward or who can't move up to where we're being able to move up. What about the rest of society? What about the rest of average black people? Other people in lower incomes or whatever, lower incomes are not going to be able to actually move that much forward with this because they're still in the same situation in which they don't have the access that we have. So I feel like that's my biggest issue. That everyone's like, now that, this black woman is a first lady, no black person, especially black woman, should have, an excuse that they can't make it because look how far she's come. This is, sadly, it's an exception. You know what I'm saying? When this is the norm, that's when we've moved forward.
And I think the one thing to take from this is definitely to acknowledge that the black community is a diverse group of people. Like everyone has their own experiences, their own interests.
I think it's really important for people, as you were saying, to question and to start, this dialogue about race in America and kind of or restart the dialogue just on completely different terms and understand, the full diversity that is like represented within the black community.
All cultures in general should attempt to branch out and understand that we're not all like in these separate entities. We're like a part of an entire like globe. We're a part of an entire society.
Yeah, it's the most dangerous thing anybody can do is just group someone in this category to just box them, and it's just like, no, that isn't how it is.